Okay, so basically, the bill that I have in my office, 844 pages. I've been trying to read part every day, and if I want to talk all about that, I need 844 minutes. Okay, you have an option. Then I have this booklet here that's 77 pages of some kind of summary, which takes into consideration the amendments made under the House or the Senate Judiciary Committee. That probably I can do in about 2 hours. I don't think Thomas is going to let me do that. But let us say that I have a brief notes on the bill, but they cover most of the things that are going to happen if the bill passes. I can do that. I think that will be the best thing to do if we have time. And then I don't know whether, do I have a time limit for this or no?
I think we keep 15 minutes for you to 15, 20 minutes.
15 minutes, I won't just tell you the name of the bill.
20 minutes. And then David also, maybe 20 minutes. After that, we can have open session in terms of...
I've been doing these lectures for the last 35 years in India and here both. And most of the time I find that the people that are coming for the seminar, they have their own question to ask.
Right.
So they can't wait for this lecture. They want to just, what about me? What about my brother? What about my sister? Okay? So that's the way, if you anytime get bored or you feel like that, I just stop and we go to the questions. But I'll try to cover as much as I can. Of course, Mark made a thing easy for the first part was, where is this bill now? As he mentioned, the name of the bill is now changed. We used to always call CIR, Comprehensive Immigration Reform. Now it is Border Security, Economic Opportunity, and Immigration Modernization. So all this together. Now, as you know, as Mark said, the Senate Judiciary Committee, after a lot of the Gang of Eight discussing, did pass the bill. Mark evolved the bill, not passed. Mark then is going to be in Senate on Tuesday. It's going to be in the Senate on Tuesday on the House, in the Senate, and then we'll see what happens. I think what's going to happen is that there will be definitely a lot of amendments introduced in the Senate, and I am confident that Senate will pass the bill. Because as Mark said, we need 60, I think we may have about 70 or at least 65, between 65 and 70 at least. What happens then? The House generally has two options. They take up the Senate bill and then make changes and go put that on the floor of the House. And this has just happened a couple of days ago. They said, no, we won't do that. We want our own House bill. Now the House bill appears that it's going to be much different. There will be things that they will be screaming about, the more security. I don't even understand. If you guys read the bill, everything is in there, borders and fences and everything. They want more, let them put more. I mean, my personal views. Pass the bill. These millions of people get a permission to work, permission to live, and permission to go home. I have clients whose father died, he couldn't go back. I have clients whose mother died, couldn't go back. A client whose sister got married, he couldn't go back. The tears in eyes. Kuch bhi karo saab, kaisa bhi jana somehow. Those people will be able to go home after husband and wife are living 10 years in India. 10 years husband. I don't know where the marriage is now. So this is very, very important to us. Number one, not just us, the entire unlawful people that in the country. So where are the issues? The House and the Senate, Republican conservatives, 2-3 issues they have, I think. Mark can tell more about that. More security. I think we can compromise to the extent that is possible. Back to citizenship, they are saying, okay, pass the bill, give them the legal status, but don't talk about green card now. We will see how the security is implemented 10 years down the road, and then we can look into that and then grant it. That Democrats don't agree to that, and that is still an issue. So there will be some obstruction, there will be some extreme people that will like to fail, but I think Senate will pass and House probably will pass, because whatever Mark said, the reasons, they are worried about the Latino vote, the Latin anything. They'll be in a very bad position if they say we don't want to pass anything, goodbye. That will not happen, they will come up. And then the bottom line is the conference committee. Always, last 2007, the bill was passed by the House, by the Senate, it died in the conference committee because they could not agree to change the differences. But President Obama cannot sign two bills. They have to combine the one and then goes to the president and then he signs. Then it becomes the law. So this is where we are. I mean, why is it a good bill? Listen, first of all, the Gang of Eight did a lot of work. Even a lot of give and take was there. When I tell you about what happened in the bill, you will see how much compromise Democrats also do. Senator Schumer did not want the brother-sister category to go away. But they had to compromise on that also. The lottery program, I'll go into all those things. So basically, they went to the labor unions, finally labor unions said, okay. The gay and lesbian group, they said it was fine. And the Latino groups, a lot of advocacy groups, they all agreed to this in the end. So I don't know where the opposition is going to be coming from, but we'll see what happens. And I hope Mark will also help through his congressmen and others to support the bill. And you guys have to work hard also. And that's the thing that I always tell people, that you have to play your role also. Michael Phulwani, David Nachman can do what they do for the community, do the TV program, do the lectures, the people want to do. We have preparing some kind of letter if you need any help to send to the senators and congressmen. We put together a nice letter that you can all email and tell your friends or relatives to do that. So that's...
I think that actually, I just want to make a quick point on that for the group, and that is that don't think that you can't make your voices heard with regard to what's happening. It is a democratic process, and it's very important for you to pick up the telephones, send those emails to the congressmen, to the senators, and let them know how you feel, because they need to know that it's an important issue, and the offices keep track of the communications that they receive. And Mark and I were talking before. I used to work for Senator Bradley, and I used to have to keep track of all the letters that I got and all the calls that I got. It was very important to let the senator or the congressman know how his or her constituents feel. So it's really important for you to do that. And you don't just do that yourselves. You also do that through the professional, social, or political organizations that you're members of. So if your organizations, obviously as GOPIans, you are clearly taking a position, and we sort of know what that position is. We're discussing it today. But if you're members of other groups, think about the ways that you can be proactive to let the politicians know how you feel about this bill. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay, no, perfect. That's good. That's please advise. I just want to tell you what is in the bill. And some of the things I'll tell you briefly, very quickly, in 1 minute. We're not discussing today about that, but they are in the bill, which is the removal proceedings, what is the effect of the people who are in deportation or who have been previously deported, asylum applications, e-verify program, agriculture workers. There's a lot of stuff that I would have done if you had given me the 844 minutes, but just this is not what we are going to talk today. We knew that we are coming to the Indian community, to the people who have their own questions, own issues, family or employment related, H1s or L1s or brother and sister, mother and father and all that. So that's what we'll talk about today. Which is of more importance to the legalization.
And Michael, if I can just,
sure.
I just also want to take a quick moment, because I think it's really important for everyone to understand, because many of you have friends, relatives, family who might be among those 11 million. So I think it's really important for you to understand the mechanisms, and I'm going to do it in 2 quick seconds. Basically what it is that there's something called the security trigger, and it has to do with the southern border in the United States. And what they're looking for right now is about a 90% compliance rate with regard to stopping illegal immigration at key parts of this southern border, okay? So if you get 90%, that means the individuals, after this bill gets passed, will within, I think it's 6 months, have an opportunity to apply for what's called RPI, which stands for Registered Provisional Immigrant Status, which will give the individuals a form of status that will allow them to live and work and be vested here in a way that they can work towards citizenship. And that is really the thing that's so novel about this opportunity. And as Mark was saying before, and as Michael was pointing out, this is really groundbreaking insofar as individuals who are here are going to be brought out of the shadows, be brought into the tax system, and have an opportunity to work towards citizenship. A couple of years back in 2007, there was a discussion about should it be a temporary thing or should it be a permanent thing. Well, they obviously settled that. It's an issue of, it's not going to be rent, it's about ownership. And the ownership is that they're going to have an opportunity to work towards citizenship and apply for citizenship after 10 years. So there are different paths to citizenship, and Michael's going to get into that. One for DACA and one for individuals who are non-DACA yet. So I just wanted to quickly point that out.
So I think what interesting topics are that we're going to talk about in the new bill: the family-based categories, the legalization of people who are illegally in the country, employment-based categories, DREAM Act, STEM Act, the citizenship requirements are going to be changed in that also. Merit-based categories, investment-based categories, and changes in various immigrant as well as non-immigrant visas. So let's start with the registered provisional immigrant status, which is for the people who are in unlawful status and those who came before December 31, 2011. Now, once the program starts, first of all, let me also mention that the bill passes and tomorrow, the same day you want us to apply something, it's not going to happen. Because after the passage of the bill, even after President Obama signs it, first of all, the Act provides when each of those things are going to go into effect. You have to wait. Even if these laws, I mean, there will be some regulations, have to be regulations. Some of the things even I could not fully understand, and I thought these things probably will further clarified and discussed about in the regulations. So the government has to come with the regulations, forms have to be printed, and they have to train the officers who will be adjudicating the cases. There will be a process going forward. So it may take a few months at least before the regulations come out and before the forms are printed. And then we lawyers and others, we also study to see what we have to do, how we have to do, and implementation starts. So remember that. So this one, what will happen once the law is passed, they will say whenever the date is, I don't remember, we can start applying for those people. And it's very, very wide category basically. It almost covers many people, most of the people that are in the country, except barring people that have committed maybe serious crimes or something of that. And there are issues like terrorism-based issues may be there, and they would like to see whether the people pay the taxes. There may be fines to be paid, I don't know, 1,000, 1,500, 500, whatever it is required. Because certain things may change in the Senate. Still, we are talking about only a bill that has come out of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Be prepared. So a lot of changes may take place in the Senate, in the House, and in the Conference Committee. So this is just a basic. That's why I do not spend 840 minutes on this. So basically, these people will be permitted to live here, permitted to work here, and they may be permitted to travel. As I said, they will advance permission to travel, go back home to meet the wife, parents, children, or whatever for many years. Now, I think 6 years down the road, they have to renew that status. And the path thing, they were initially talking about 80 years and 5 years for citizenship has changed to 10 plus 3. So total amount to become a citizen remains the same almost. The 10 years you have to wait before they can apply. And that's where the Republicans are going to still say, take that out. We'll talk about the green cards later, but hopefully I think that may go that way.
So Michael, our clients always ask us two questions. They say how long and how much. So we know the how long from the bill. What about the how much? How much is it going to cost? Right?
Well,
we know some numbers, right? So they're saying you're going to have to pay penalties.
Yes.
And you're going to have to pay filing fees, right?
Yeah.
So they're talking about $500 filing fees twice, and then there's going to be penalties that they're going to have to pay.
That is correct. And then going forward, the requirement is for the next 10 years, they must be working, continuously working in the US, except some barring some travel and all that. And then they have to be paying taxes. And those taxes have also to be based upon a certain income. Because somebody who thought of that was smart. Supposing they only show 2,000 a year old tax, they said no. They must have enough income to meet the poverty guidelines. So there will be, that's where one of the, I don't know if it was Sessions or somebody who said 4 times the poverty guidelines. Are you crazy? And the poverty guidelines, they say maybe 20,000 for that one, 18,000. 4 times 60,000, the person working the dishwasher is going to have 60,000 income. I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, that was one of those amendments that was tried, that was
amendments,
used as a poison
somebody
bill
to
try to get rid of the bill. So
there will be those requirements for those illegal aliens that will be there. They have to pay taxes, they have to be fined 10 years, they have to show that they have been employed. It's not an amnesty like 1986. I did lots of cases. In 1986, I interviewed both Senator Simpson and Congressman Maloney, and they put together this bill. It was an amnesty. You are illegal here, you came before January 1982. Or you work in agriculture for 90 days, you get a green card. Because this is the compromise. Look at the compromise then and now. Both of these gentlemen, Simpson and Maloney, worked out a deal. Then from the Midwest, some congressmen and senators from those areas came. Wait a minute, hold it. What about our farmers? All these people will not be able to get under that rule. They come back and do a seasonal workers, they come back and forth, back and forth. Say, okay, anybody work for 90 days between 84 and 85 will get a green card, believe me. I mean, one story I want to tell you about the fraud. One lady came to me, very beautiful and clothes and nail polished and, she came and said, I want a green card. I said, well, what is the basis? Oh, that thing, that agriculture thing. I'm looking at her. I said, where do you come from? Bombay. Where do you live? And she says, I think, Oli Hill or some place. She said, Malabar Hill actually. I said, oh my God, that apartments are so expensive. He says, yeah, now it's about 7 crores. And I said, but you work hard? No, I got 6 servants. I said, lady, 6 servants, you got a 4-room flat in Malabar Hill, and you were working from morning 6 in the morning to 6 in the night, picking up apples in Mexico? Which, you go before an American concert, not concert. Oh, okay, she get away. So a lot of fraud happened, and that's one of the things that our Republicans are saying. Listen, what happened in '86? You said you will stop further illegal immigration, and there's no stoppage at all. That time there were about 3 or 4 million, and then there are 12 million. So nothing worked, didn't work because they did not enforce that part. Simpson's part, that in Simpson says, okay, as long as you put the law and punish the employers who hire illegal aliens and do those things, we will be happy because there will be no further illegal immigration. That did not happen, but amnesty went through. So all these people applied and got a green card. This is not amnesty. This is earned legalization, whether these people had to work very hard for 10 years, earn, pay their taxes every year. So this is what...
No one's cutting in line here.
Yeah.
In fact, what part of the bill says is that everyone who is out of status and gets RPI status has to wait until all of the other visas have cleared out. Where everyone else is in queue, they have to wait till all those visas clear out before they then can become
Because they are saying that, listen, there are people waiting legally in the line, brother, sister, already 8 years, 10 years. They still have to wait years, and here's a legal alien. So breaking the law then is a good thing to do. So then that was a reasonable thing. The compromise is, okay, we'll put these people, because within the next 10 years, all these people will be cleared. So they will put in the back of the line. So that's one of the compromises I guess they had to make. Otherwise, it would have no. There were a couple of 2 or 3 things. If they had said no, the bill would have died right there in the Senate Judicial Committee. For example, gay and lesbian. That was, they were pushing it, but then the Republicans clearly, you push this and we are out. Finish. End of the story. So that's what happened. There is compromise. Dream Act. Dream Act, what David was telling about the DACA, which was in some way implemented by President Obama administratively. But the Dream Act, that did not have a path to citizenship, just temporary permission to work and permission to live. Student children that Mark was telling earlier, his friends' children, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years old in the arms of the parents, they came in. What did they do wrong? They entered illegally, they don't even know. They think they are born here. They think they are US citizens. They go to all their friends are US citizens like that, and they just feel like that. So I think it's a humanitarian thing, and this bill definitely is going to help a lot of children and their parents also. They get some benefits under the legalization program. So those children that entered under the age of 16, and they are not over the age of 31, I think that change was done, I'm remembering from the book, that over 31 probably is taken out. So it's only as long as they entered under the age of 16, they would be eligible for the Dream Act, will give them a green card after 5 years. So they will at least get a temporary work permission. The schools, how many children, how many parents come to me and they say, my children now are coming out of high school, they cannot go to college because they need a social security number and they have to show what they are, their green card, or F1 visa, or what do they have legally to get. So this is a big thing. And I think this will help a lot. And this is one thing that most of I thought so until yesterday, day before yesterday. I thought both Democrats and Republicans are going to support the Dream Act because to me it didn't seem an opposition. Unfortunately, I think 2 or 3 days ago in the House, they said no. But let us see, this is a different thing. It is small, I think, percentage of the people like that. We lost that, right? But that is different. When this bill goes through, the Senate bill, again this discussion is going to take place, hopefully this will change. Agriculture workers, again, they get some kind of W2, W3 visa. As I said, we won't talk much in this program. There is a merit-based point system that we'll talk a little later. And I'm just talking about the highlighting the things. And this merit-based point system is based kind of on a point system that Canada has. You get X amount of points based upon let me see, I had it somewhere.
It'll be based on longevity in the United States, based upon familial relationships, and based upon skill sets. So there'll be various factors that you can use to earn the points.
It's likely to have that here. The RPIs cannot. Those people who get a legal status under the legalization program, they cannot apply for the merit-based. And are those who have approved petitions already under different categories, they may not be able to go under that and merit also. And there's about 120,000 is the cap, and that may go up to 250,000. Now the points coming from education, employment experience, full-time employment, and high demand occupations like the shortage of US workers, and civic involvements, English language, family of a US citizen, age, country of origin. So all these factors are some points, 10 points, 8 points, 6 points, and I think the regulations provide may come up with more details as to total number of points and how those will be processed. So that's a good category, because somebody was talking about employment categories earlier. So this is one of them that I think Thomas was saying more emphasis on the employment. So there are new categories like this in this law that will be very helpful also.
And Mike, also, while we're actually there, everyone should know that the EB1 classifications are all going to be immediate. So those will obviously be cleared out, and they're going to be uncapped. So that presents unique opportunities. Also, the derivatives will not have caps. So those visas will not take up the an undue number of visas which they do now.
I think I have a specific information on this. When I was saying they'll clear up the existing cases, people ask me, under the new bill, my brothers are waiting for 9 years, 8 years, 7 years, 6 years, or the number still is going to come after 6 years. Is there any change going to take place? The change is this. For the year 2015 to 2021, that 6-year period, they will, in the employment basis category, they will give 1/7 of the petitions that are filed. So let us say, as an example, there are 100,000 petitions already filed. So 1/7 will be 7,000. So that, it's a small thing, but actually there are hundreds of thousands. So that 1/7, and for a period of this 7 years, which means 1/7, 1/7, 1/7 in 7 years, they'll be all gone. That's the theory. So that will speed up, definitely will speed up the process. The pending, I think they were saying that actually within 5 to 6 years, most of the cases, brothers, sisters, everything. And talking about, remind me, I was going to come later on in the notes, but the brother-sister category is eliminated. It's going to be eliminated. It's going to disappear after 18 months from the enactment of the bill. But I would say, let us say about 6 months to pass the bill and another 18 months, so you still have 2 years to file the petition if you have not done for a brother-sister, because I'm sure they are going to still continue to handle the pipeline cases. And that elimination will take only, as per the law, 18 months after the enactment of the Act. So that's a good piece of advice.
So everyone understands basically what we're saying is that if you get something in the pipeline and get it filed now, they're not going to eliminate that benefit if this new bill does pass. So if you've been delaying the filing of a family fourth preference case, now might be a good time to go ahead and take steps to file that.
No, I talked about the employment cases. Same thing about the family, 2015 to 2021. Again, 1/7 of the pending bill, especially in the brother-sister category, definitely it will be much help. Other categories disappear very quickly, I think, because it's a large number. 1/7. This is only for 7 years to clean up all the pending cases, and then the different formula applies. So remember. Okay. Very important here, reclassification for F2A category, which is the husband, wife, and children under 21 of green card holders. Waiting time at one point was 4 or 5 years, then it comes down to 6 months at one time, it's made back to 2.5 years today. And one thing I've been saying for 10 years always, a husband is a husband is a husband. A wife is a wife is a wife. A child is a child is a child. Why are you putting separately citizen's wife and citizen children different from the green card holders? So they finally, somebody heard my voice and they say, okay, the new bill says they will be treated like US citizens in terms of they apply for the green card holder, applies for the wife or the children, and you treat it the same way as an IR petition, which is very nice. Another big change, I mean, a lot of people don't know it under a lot of study. There will be a derivative of the family members in the IR parent cases. Now, if you are a citizen, you want to apply for your father, for a mother, you take two separate petitions. You want to apply for children, brothers and sisters, separate petitions. No derivative thing as it applies in the numerical limitation, because people get confused. I filed for my brother and his wife and children were included. Now I am filing my father, so why I cannot include my little brothers there? No, because the law doesn't permit that. There is no derivativeness coming from the IR petition. They say that will change. It's a big thing also. You are a citizen, you are applying for your parent, and the children under 21 can also be put in that category. CSPA, let me talk about that, this thing. People that apply for a brother, sister, for example, and other categories also, married sons and daughters of US citizens or whatever. There is a priority date. The date on which the petition is filed is a priority date and you are on the line. Now, sometimes the child that is included will cross 21. And then the old times, the child crosses 21 by 1 day is out. That's it. There are no options, no nothing there. I remember a case there, the parent had applied and the two children were two daughters, twin sisters. Some of the council delayed their case. I had to go to the Department of State and they said the cable that the children are aging out, then the council issued immediately. But still, they couldn't get the tickets the same day. So when they got into the flight, they had a birthday in the plane. And they landed at Kennedy Airport. The officer said, sorry, you are over 21 today. They put him in deportation proceedings and that's a different story. Then this problem that came in, the law was changed. The law was made called CSPA, Child Status Protection Act, which says that whatever time the immigration took in approving the parents' petition, you get that extra time. But some children, even with that, did not qualify. CSPA also couldn't solve the problem. Now this issue is in the CI, this comprehensive immigration, that when the parent comes, he cannot come with, because he doesn't qualify for CSP, he cannot come with the parents. Parent comes in, he files an I-130 petition. Now today they are giving him today's date. That means he's in the line and if to B category for 8 years. This says the child will get the same old priority date of the father. Going back 98, 99, and that category may be correct, and boom. So this is another very good thing that happened. Another bad thing that happened, of course, as I said, the brothers, sisters will be out. The married sons and daughters of US citizens, the F3 category, now the citizen can file for the married son or daughter. There's no age limit or anything. There's going to put an age limit, 31 years. So if you are a citizen, you want to file for a married son and daughter, you can only do it if he is under 31 years of age. So, but listen, some of these things I don't like. We can oppose it. But then we have to kill the bill. If we break anything into what the bipartisan has done, I think we are taking a dangerous way to maybe, that's a forget it, then goodbye. So we don't want to do that either. So, STEM Act. Now, STEM Act is what you call it, extraordinary ability in sciences, education, business, and athletics. This is a new law also, which is again, Thomas's favorite, right? And this is something about the physicians also, that after 5 years of completing the foreign residency, the residency or requirements, and they opt in a waiver if they are subject to a 2 years requirement, and they will also be not in the numerical limitations. Right now, even doctors are in the line waiting for years and years to get a green card. So that will be very good. It eliminates the requirement of going under the numerical limitations.
All PhDs, whether from abroad or US, will be exempt from the numerical limitations also. So that's a unique provision.
Not masters?
Yeah.
Only PhDs.
There's more liberal consideration for masters, but the PhDs are exempt for sure.
How about technology, science and technology?
That's part of this STEM bill, which is subsumed within the general bill. So they're saying that they're going to, again, have more liberal provisions for science, technology, engineering, and
That is
mathematics.
correct.
What about people who have graduated from US universities and have their masters?
They will be coming under this STEM, depending on what subject, is sciences, mathematics, I just say science,
Okay.
then they will come under this STEM.
Okay. But if you don't belong from engineering background or science background, you wouldn't fall into
All
that
that I say,
category.
science, listen, it's a wide. Science is education, business, and athletics is still pretty wide.
Business is a wide category.
Yes.
I have an MBA in
That's what I'm
finance,
saying.
right?
But
So
come,
that
basically, let's wait for the regulations.
okay.
They will go back into these and then define that, and then, we have to see what the regulations say. What they mean by business is
Right,
something.
and also if you take a look at the STEM lists, you'll see that over time, the STEM lists have become more liberal, and they're pushing in that direction. So if they continue to do so,
Yeah.
then obviously that'll hopefully take it into account.
Okay, another thing you will like about new visa, called a V visa. V visa originally used to be for the family members and children of green card holders who had filed the petitions, were waiting for it in 3 years. So they said, okay, give them a temporary visa to go to US in the meantime. And that is no longer there because that period that was there is gone. So in this bill, they are introducing a new V visa again. Okay, who benefits under this? The F3 category people who are the married sons and daughters of US citizens whose petition was filed when they were under age 31. So this could backdate apply also that way. They can get a V visa. The theory behind this is, okay, we are trying to unite the families. On one hand, we are taking away a lot of them, but make it easy for the family members to at least be here with the parent, be with the wife, be with the children, which is a very good thing. So in the F3, the husband or wife or whatever, the son or the daughter of the citizen waiting there for years, if he wants to come in, they'll get a V visa and come here and they get a permission to work also, and when their number becomes available, then they get a green card. So that's very good. The F4, the brothers and sisters, is a different rule. Again, there's a V visa, and they also put in this thing, I don't know why, they have to be also under 31. I don't know how many brothers and sisters, maybe under 30, maybe, the young ones maybe. Those people can also get a V visa, and but they can only get V visa for 60 days, and they will not be permitted to work. So at least they can come. See, now what is happening, somebody is applied for a green card, a petition is filed, and they go to American consul to get a visitor visa. So I just want to go meet my brother, denied. Petition is pending 214B, 214B, 214B. You see this all the time, these denials coming in. The students are denied. Parents are here, parents are going to school, they want to come here for college, be with the parents. There's no, you apply for, your petition, green card is pending, you will not deny. So that will go away because they will be able to at least come here and stay here on the F3 category or the F4. The another thing again is out of the line that I have, the students have a special provision now. They are going to be having a dual intent like H1 visa, L1 visa. The council cannot apply section 214B. And congressmen and senators get how many letters? Oh, my brother, council is not giving a visa to my brother, to my sister, and all that. Because the council says, sorry, you made the law, and there's an intent of immigration, then we cannot give you, because this is only if you don't intend to settle there, you're going on a temporary basis. They have the discretion, but they take, that position, that once a petition is there, then basically they will not issue you a visitor student visa, and that will go away. The laws, if one can apply, also council cannot deny. On that basis, if there's a fraudulent I-20 or they done something wrong, a crime, you can deny. But they cannot deny on that basis that your intention may be to settle. That's out. Like H1, L1 is the same thing. Okay. Stepchildren under 21 instead of 18. Now, stepchildren, let me explain to you. If a person was married, he was marrying somebody that was previously married. A man is getting married to a woman, she was previously married and divorced, and she has children. So under the law, if the children are under 18 at that time of the marriage, then they are considered as stepchildren, and they can also come under the petition that the stepfather will file. That age is changed from 18 to 21, which is good. 18. Adoption of the child, again, the law is that you can only adopt a child who's under the age of 16. That will change to 18. That gives a little more margin for the children. These are important. For some people, it are very, very important. Those who are, like if you were in this crowd, you were anybody in this, you know, oh my God, this is the greatest news I ever heard, because you've been waiting for many years to get rid of that. And there's some relief for orphans, widows and widowers. Another big change for us, for David and me, we handle a lot of waiver cases also. A person who is living here illegally, he applies for a green card or something, or just goes out for a father's death, he wants to come back, there's a 10-year bar. He cannot come back for 10 years. And the option to that is, or somebody committed a fraud or misrepresentation, the lifetime bar. So there's an option to that. In some cases, it is possible to apply for a waiver, samjho ki Hindi mein maafinama, in a way. But that only is possible if it is proved that it will cause extreme hardship to the US citizen, green card holder or a parent. Now that is extreme word results in denials of a lot of waiver cases. They are removing the extreme word out. So just hardship should be good enough, which is excellent news for us. You know, we handle a lot of waiver cases. One other thing that I have seen for many, many years, elderly parents, elderly people that want to become citizens, they have a green card. And Champa Ben doesn't know how to, I have some ideal case of Champa Ben. Champa Ben is here for so many years and doesn't speak English. So, मैं अभी क्या सीखूंगी अभी बुढ़ा बेबी English सीखना है मेरे को. Forget it, I cannot. So I said, this is what to do. The law is there. There is some exceptions were there, but they are liberalized now. What is liberalized? Here it is. Waiver of English language over the age of 65 years if the person has a green card only for 5 years. English stays exempted. If 60 years, 10 years of residency after green card. 55 is 15 years. And over 50 is 20 years. So instead of 1 or 2 categories, they made 4 categories. And many people, I see 65, 66-year-old green card got 5 years ago, English is waived, go and become American citizen. So Champa Ben will be very happy now. Okay. Let me see that. I think now not much to go, maybe 5 minutes, I hope. They're making some security things in the social security card, which will be fraud, temper, and identity theft resistant. H1B mobility, this gives you 60 days. What happens in H1B? The person is working for H1B and the employer says goodbye. And then if they have an employer immediately to file, they immediately can file a new petition, portability is there. But many people need time to find another employer and he's out and then he cannot do that. Then he has to go back to India to get a new visa stamp on that. So it gives 60 days extra. So if you lose a job, he has 2 months time to find a new employer and file a new petition and then extension of the status is possible. It may look smaller to you, but they will know how big it is to us. You know, how many people come and they are coming back after 2 months and say, what will advise here? You can get H1 approved, but you have to go to India to get a stamp because here in the US you cannot transfer or you can extend the status. So this 60 days is very well. H4, you know, H1B, somebody gets, the wife or the husband get H4 visa, but they cannot work. L1, L2 can work. And E visas, the treaty trader, which is not for India. So this is good. H4 will be given permission to work. It's in this law.
Right. And the caveat is that the other country has to grant reciprocity to the counterpart, and then the H4 is allowed to work.
I want to bring it to that. Recently, I had met the Home Minister as well as the Minister for Overseas Indian Affairs. So we have put a resolution that India should do the reciprocity. Because without foreigners working in India and their spouses should be allowed. So again, it's a community campaign.
It is based upon reciprocity.
Yeah, so it is a community campaign. We are also trying to do it in India.
So thank God, Thomas, they heard your
Thank
voice.
you for being proactive. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, let me finish it. There's this new kind of retiree visa. People want to retire. And they say, okay, you want to retire, come and pay at least $500,000. You invest at least in a property. Now this is not an investment. Just buy a house, but it should be, this is it's at least in excess of 100% value. Does that mean that it should be $1 million at least worth of property? Is that my interpretation correct? It says retiree visa, invest 500,000 in a property that you are investing, as long as the value of that is 100% of that, which means $1 million. If you buy $1 million house, but you want to put 500,000 down, the rest you can mortgage, and you still come and live here as a retiree. Okay. I think the age limit also, I don't have, it's about
I
55
think
or
that
60.
this was originally proposed by Senator Schumer, and then it got subsumed within this bill. So if you want to take a look at the retirement provisions, I think they go back about 6 months. And we talked about them on one of our television programs, so those are posted on YouTube if you want to see them.
Right. The guest worker programs, the temporary workers, there's a category for low-skilled workers again. We don't have time, they're a very detailed thing. And there's a new investor visa, NIV, non-immigrant investor visa, to new venture. I don't know, then the regulations come, they'll probably clarify more. It says new venture, entrepreneurial startups and technology, investment of $100,000 in the business, probably in creation of some jobs. Or aliens business is no less than 3 employees and generated $250,000 in annual revenues. This will be like a temporary visa for, I don't know what they mean, the new venture entrepreneurial, that's only $100,000, but they are looking at entrepreneurial, somebody that has a plan that even with that money is going to have a company. You know how many technology companies will just start 100,000, they have millions and billions today. So they are looking at those kind of extraordinary people with skills that will create lots of jobs and go forward. Or those people who are even employing at least 3 people and their annual revenue is 250. The 3 jobs are created and then 250,000 in the economy. I don't know how far all these provisions will go through. This is today. What happens in the Senate on Tuesday and onwards, what happens in the House and what happens in the conference committee, God knows. But you have to play your role. We are doing our best. Mark, the congressman, doing supporting like anything, and David and we are doing all these programs and lectures and TV programs. You guys have to do something too. Your senator, your congressman, send them a letter, you make a little group of people. Then the photos, the pictures. I'm telling you, I told people that your wife is there for 8 years, children are growing up without a father. Take the family pictures on album and cry, Aansu aankhon mein dalo, photos dekho. Like, you create emotion. People say waiver cases, people say waiver cases, and we say waiver cases, we just don't fill up a form and submit a waiver case. I said the best waiver case is that in which you put all the documents, medical reports and hardships and everything, that an immigration officer looks at that and after a few minutes he has got a drop in his eyes. That creates emotion, that gets approval of that picture.